All right, guys. Okay. But as I told you guys before, okay, last week basically a very hard week for me. Okay, but you never know, though. Okay, you never thought that I lost my godmother there, not my own mother. My own mother is up downstairs there. Okay, yeah, and I lost also my friend. Okay, last week also at the same times. Right. So a bit kind of what we call that gloomy kind of days. You can see outside there for a few days there. Right. Okay. Hmm. Right. But life goes on there. Right. Don't worry there. I'm good with it. But normally, okay, even though I look a bit kind of and hard-headed outside there, okay, as a human being, they always have a spot, a half soft spot, right, okay, in our inside there, right? Okay, it's normal thing, you guys. Okay, all right. So continue back again. Thank you, Sanjay. Sanjay, is it right? All right. But it doesn't mean that you cannot actually improve your works over here. All right. Okay. Now, okay, we take a look back again to our lessons over here. If you go through back again all the details that I actually have done for this work, right? The core kind of methods that I always want to emphasize my student is, let me check that right, is how to get a very good kind of line there. I'm using basically, right, the Carl Ultimate Pencil brushes other than these brushes here, right? This is what brushes that we use it, drawing box. Okay, drawing box also can have a very good kind of line, a very clean kind of line there, okay? Because they similar to those the patterns of these brushes there, right? Okay, is similar to those traditional kind of pencils or charcoals or colored pencils there. Remember that, guys? Huh? You using colored pencil before, there, right? That's why I'm saying that it's kind of very useful for us to work there. Okay, now how actually I'm going to select the old areas there, okay? In the new Photoshop, so we have this kind of selection tools. Click to the layers. The selection tool that we have that make our selections a bit more quicker there, right? Okay, faster is the, what are the names here? Sorry there, guys. I remember the names there sometimes. Right. It's a quick selection tools. Okay? Quick selection tools here. And the problem with the selection tools, these quick selection tools, normally they will select some of the areas that have been defined as a line there. You see that? See? This is basically the not quite good basically for us to develop that kind of selections there. So what I can do from here, normally, one of the quickest way that I'm going to do, I'm going to click shift, right? Click shift. Okay, all the selections area that inside there, okay, I'm going to select them back. Okay, can you see here? I'll do the selections over here, right? This one. Click shift a bit more. In Photoshop. Not click to window, what we call that, cinema or clip paint kind of studios there. Okay, I'm not saying that I don't like those clip studios there, okay, but it's going to be the same there, unless TAUC basically giving us the privilege to use clip studio paint. So I'm going to change there, right? I don't want to mix them up because I have to be fair also with our lessons over here. All right. And of course, to share with you guys, next week, sorry, that this Wednesday, I have basically a talk there, okay, to one of the universities, okay, about the character design. a glove design there, right? Okay. I don't know whether I'm going to be make themselves boring or not because I'm going to teach uh, the newcomers kind of uh, educators there, okay, at University Pendidikan Sultan Idris, okay, UPSI there, okay, at I think Perak there, right? Okay, I have given two different kind of what we call that sharing sessions before there, okay. One of them actually from MDEC when I actually right been invited by MDEC directly to become one of the speakers there, to sharing my kind of experience in my creative journey there. Okay, this is my second times go to OPSI there, okay, but online right now, okay. Thankfully, okay, I don't have to travel there anymore. I'm not saying that I don't like travel there, okay, but in this kind of what we call the situation right now, I try to make a less travels there, okay. The only thing that I'm going to use travels basically only for working there, right? Not for leisures anymore. Not because I don't like it, but for me, working there, okay, I can make more money out of it there. But when I will actually right go for travel for holiday, I would say I will spend more money there, okay, without any return there, right? Basically, I don't like it, right? Not because I don't like it travels there, don't like the holiday there, right? But yeah, I don't know there, right? Maybe because I've give the kids a bit more kind of what we call the privilege there to enjoy, but sometimes I'm okay with it, right? Depending there. But nowadays, there's a lot of works that could have been worked from there. So take a look here right now. Just now, when I do selections there, okay, I kind of give this kind of line drawing back again. Now, what I did there here, I kind of do some selections back again. Click Shift and do selections back again according to the areas that I want to paint. Okay. Anyone have confusion with this kind of lasso tools or quick selection tools? Anyone have this kind of problem to do this kind of selections over here? Even though we can do using masking, I don't want to use that because kind of give me not a total freedom for me there. Okay, this is only my kind of personal kind of opinion there, right? Basically, too technical there for me there. Okay, and when I actually look at someone actually use a lot of layers there, okay, to execute a simple kind of task, kind of give me a bit kind of whoa, how this guy can use a lot of layers there, but you want to go into one simple kind of solutions, you want to create one of the solutions there, you have to go into a lot of challenges. Uh, that kind of things, I would say, quite waste of time. I would say that okay, I would love to spend more time do a little bit kind of selections like this, but these selections for some of the area that I find is not that quite using alter right. Spend more times right nurturing and what we call that improve some of the selections areas like this for me is more better than you try hard enough to make a different kind of solutions, but later on the quality of your work still looks a bit kind of off, right? This one, I add some details there on the selections there. This kind of exercise basically will give you a more kind of awareness there, okay, when it comes to develop and paint and increase your kind of level of details there. And I believe there, okay, there's a lot of right, some of the areas of selections you can see from here there, right? There's a lot of flawless, okay, that we can actually improve there. Sorry there, right? What do you guys eat for today there?
Haven't eat
Anyone?
anything.
You haven't eat anything there. Why?
Yeah.
Hey, you have to take care of your health there, right? Okay, otherwise you get a gastric. Okay, one of the postmortems that my late godmother actually have there. Okay, I just want to tell you guys. Okay, only that. Okay, um, but I know okay because basically when it times up, it time after. Okay, but she has a gastric there. Okay, at that times. But she just finished her one of the seminar. She actually one of the business kind of woman there. So she had a seminar. Okay, I think she's not aware about her stomach kind of ache there. Okay, that she has. Maybe she doesn't take. Like, he doesn't have enough time to take a meals there. Okay, to cover her. What's called that? Okay, we have to take. At least we have to take a breakfast. Okay, every day there. Okay, every day there. Okay, no matter how late you are, okay. For me, okay, no matter how late I am, I will go drive through and get some of the meal from McDonald's there, okay, or maybe buy a few kind of what we call that, maybe some sort of like curry pop, maybe donuts, maybe there, okay. No matter how late I am there, okay, I always try to take care of my stomach there, because I also have this kind of situation like I have a gastric there, okay. So for a few years, I take the conscience here. I always eat my breakfast there. I can take my breakfast heavy there, okay? I'm going to take my breakfast heavy there, right? So what I can do right now, base colors there, some kind of what we call that techniques. They use grayscale there, right, to work there. I don't want to use grayscale there, right? Okay. So I'm using my first selections over here. Remember, guys, okay, only 2 or 3 different layers that we use, or maybe 4 different layers that we use from there. Right, depending on how actually you're going to analyze and work with your methods over here there, right? So now, if we have the base colors here, easy for us to develop our understanding, okay, about the colors of those strokes. It's quite hot over here there, okay. I also not the west corner, okay, but it's too hot there, right? Level, I'm going to adjust the level there, see, to make it a bit more darker but not too dark. Right? One of the style that I actually introduced to you guys. All right, I'm not going to use black color for the outline. I want to give a bit kind of varieties, right, on my kind of curations there. So now, when I do those selections over here, right, I kind of like can separate between, right, the beard, even though there's a few number kind of paint style that you guys can use. But I'm going to use the selections areas to separate between the beard, the hair, right, and some of the eyebrows there, okay, in order to start to paint, right? For example, like this one there, right? Huh? So the eyebrows, sometimes we just can paint there, okay, using those shift tools, shift keyboard, okay, and do some selections there. See, I separate with the beard there, okay. Now I'm going to separate them, okay, with this part there, right, first using alternate there, reduce or adjust the selections areas there. This one, I can adjust them. So why actually I separate the beard there, right? Because these are basically is a very obvious kind of parts basically from the faces, which is we can actually color them separately. Yeah. All right. Okay, some goes to this goatee there, right? Yeah. I know there's a lot of techniques that we guys can use which you learn there, right? Okay? But I'm showing you guys a very standard kind of techniques back again. Develop your kind of way to paint in Photoshops. Okay? I'm kind of actually right. Brief will be kind of detailing on the selection first. And what I can do, I can copy and paste separately there. If I want to paint the hair, for example, using the base colors there, right? I can use levels there, guys. Levels to change. See? Remember what I say, work smart there, right? And of course, this area basically a bit kind of off there. Maybe I forget about it, right? I can actually delete them or erase them. Yeah. All right, now. So I'm going to do some selections over here, back again, save. Right, this is basically the hair. Right, this is the body part, all right? If I want to use using a shadows there, right? Shadows right now. Okay, I'm to tackle the shadows there. If you want to tackle the shadows, right? Simple there. Very soft brushes, soft pressure brushes there, right? Reduce the opacity around 4% there, okay? Why I'm using very low kind of pressures there or flows? Because I can actually write some shadows and see the directions of this part basically are going to be the highlight, okay? Same goes to the same, okay? Luckily, I can find some of the photos. This is the part that, okay, if you want to find the photos, make sure you indicate the shadows kind of directions there. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for you there, right? So what I can do right here, kind of like can paint back again, see? Shadows line. When I paint a shadows line, I move around from diagonal from this part of vertical there, okay, and the curve horizontal. Is it right? Curve horizontal there. Okay, right. If I actually make some of the mistakes on the pronunciations, please correct me, okay? Don't feel it to silence there. Right. So now, if I want to paint this part there, right? Okay. I'm going to use the muscles, right? The form of the muscle that form from the shadows there to develop that kind of shadows there. That form basically back again the shadows there. Okay, what I did right now, I'm not going to focus only one single areas there. Hey, the other thing, hey guys, I don't focus on the perfections yet, but the methods there, the technique that I actually show. When I paint that, okay, can you see my hands over here? This is my face. Look at my kind of brush strokes there, okay? I kind of use this kind of technique, okay? Curved line, okay, that form basically the shadow of those structures there. I'm not actually paint the whole thing like that, okay? Use the curved line, like we actually try to develop basically like the when you massage things, okay, we massage those kind of faces there, okay. How we're going to do that? Okay, for example here, Okay, now. Okay, take a look here, right? Okay, when you actually, right, when we actually want to paint, I want to show you guys here. Okay. All right. How old I am there. Okay, now take a look there, guys. Okay, if I want to paint there, right, okay, the structures of the faces, how am I actually going to do that? Okay, first of all right, you can see these muscles there, okay, the structures there, the skull there, okay, from the people face. You can see also if you have a very heavy light there, okay, and you look at this kind of what we call that heavy light, okay, from my kind of right directions over here, there, right. So you can see the highlights, shadows there. My face will be oily there, okay. So now take a look back again. If I want to paint there, okay, I'm not going to paint like this. Do you rubbing like this one when you actually wash your face? Right. You're going to paint, you're going to rub like this one, right? See? The basic structures there. This one there, right? Okay. When I paint also the same thing. When we paint there, okay, not only me there, okay, we kind of using this kind of method there. Right? Yeah. Like this one, okay? The structures from here. Move the brush a bit there, into vertical a bit, and then move a bit to the diagonal there. The same thing there, okay? When you paint here, then nose areas there, okay? When you paint, draw with this side there, okay? 1, 2, 3. Not this one there, right? Not this one there. Okay? 1, 2, 3 there, right? Paint the right. Same goes to this one. Same goes to this one there, okay? Paint the right. There. Same goes to the shadows line. The same thing with the hairstyles, like a hair strokes, okay? I'm going to draw this kind of strokes there, right? Move the strokes over there. Curved line there, okay? The curve kind of strokes there. To draw the hairstyles. The beard is quite basically just a curvy kind of line there, okay? Because I have a curly kind of beard there, right? Okay? I don't know whether I want to give a straight there, okay? No, no, right? Okay, I'm not going to straight my beard there, okay? So when I want to paint the beard there, okay, I'm going to use basically the curvy kind of strokes there, right? Okay, develop that kind of structures there, right? Even though I'm going to use the line drawings there, the line drawings to develop those kind of strokes there, all right? No, don't worry there. Okay, that's kind of things there, right? Okay, to develop that kind of understanding there, right? Sorry, okay. The shadows from this side there, okay? The shadows there. So what I'm going to paint, I'm going to paint right here and move to the curved line. Using the muscles there. Using the muscles there, okay? Guys, don't be jealous there, guys, okay? Work out more there, okay? I try to work out a bit more, right? Now, this part basically working. I'm not going to paint like this, okay, only the, okay? But I'm going to paint according to the muscles, like structures there. The shadow structures that develop that muscles there, okay? Same goes to this line. Same goes to this line. Basically, the calf or the patterns from the shadows from those. All right, we call that shades there, okay? The same thing. You can see the heavy shadows there, right? The heavy shadows there. The heavy shadows there, right? So all these kind of things will develop basically your kind of individual kind of strokes that apply from the shadows there, right? From the shadows carved out. You can actually refer to some of the anime, manga kind of drawing techniques. They're going to apply the same thing. You just need to develop, you have to open up your mind to develop that kind of understanding. That's all there, right? Okay, that's all is it. Right, take a look, analyze carefully, and move the stroke there, okay? But blending kind of methods, okay, you have to use flow to change. I never use opacity basically to adjust basically the what we call that the percentage there, okay, the percentage of those blending there, okay. At the moment I didn't, okay, using the basics techniques. But if I'm going to do some advanced kind of methods that I used before for my some of my comics, for my graphic novels there, right, I kind of mix them up there, right, okay. But for those who actually still in the learning process, learning this is fundamental methods first, and then you can experiment them. There's a lot of way you guys can explore if you really want to proceed yourself in illustrations there, right? Okay, but like what actually Zhenzang, I really happy with the results there. Okay, hopefully most of you guys also can apply the same thing first before you're going to explore that, right? uh, I'm using the same methods there when I work on that. Okay, even though, okay, from the original kind of photos here, these guys cannot see my eyes there, right? But you can see the light that came from those eyes there. What I can do, I just paint it up first. See, I've been moving from here to right here, and then curved line. I see the curved line that form basically the structures there. Yeah, press a little bit there. Okay, don't press too hard. Maybe you're going to ruin basically your what we call that, your tablets there later on. So what I can do right now, I'm not going to focus only on the face. A lot of people normally they focus only one areas first, and then they give it time more, right, okay, to blend, to render basically the ears or the faces, right? They forgot about the body there. So what I can do right now, of course, from here, the shadow going to fall off to the side, okay, to the side here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, take a look at the photos back again. Normally I'm going to take a look at the photos there and try to paint the shadows part there first. We're using a reference there, guys, so maybe a bit kind of imagination later on, because I cannot see these areas of the wing, or maybe the curve of the armpit there, right? So what I can do, I can actually assume maybe there's a shadows part over here there first, right over here, and came to over here also at the same time there, right? Okay. And of course, you can see these areas have the shadows that, okay, line that actually appears to cover this part there, right there. So if you have this kind of understanding, right, okay, basically you have done a few kind of uh, we call that shadows kind of trap, or you lock basically the shadows kind of line there, okay, or structures over here. It's easy for you to move into the next stage is by working with the highlight there, right? All right, normally, right, okay, when I actually have focus on the shadows and light there, okay, from here, right, it's not that hard for us to blend a little bit more on the highlight and to complete our kind of, we call that a rendering kind of methods there. But of course, and to go into more and more details, right, okay, you must be able to brave enough to break a little bit kind of your kind of worried, add kind of tones, value of tone there, okay, what I meant, okay, value of tone there. Okay, this part also have the shadows a bit there, right? Focus there, take a look there, okay, analyze basically your kind of areas that you want to paint. And obviously what you can see, right, before you know, you already have the, yeah, basically you have done, right, some understanding how to develop the shadows to form for your illustrations, okay, your subject matters or your illustrations. Okay, the next part is, right, okay, the light or the source of light there, right? So add the same colors, or you want to use different colors there, more light kind of colors there, not too light. Same, maybe the same kind of what we call that flows, 5% there, right? Then I'm going to start to paint the light there, right? Okay, maybe this part there first. You guys can see there, okay, when I start to paint and analyze the lightings over here, you can see all the kind of details being enhanced there. Even though it's not that same yet, okay, the quality of those visuals that you actually refer is not that the same, right? Okay? And of course, remember that when I want to paint the highlights over here, then, right, the highlights, I know the light a bit kind of heavy right here, but we use one step at a time first, just to enhance a bit kind of understanding here. I can give you guys time there to develop that kind of understanding there. Because this light also came over here. This light also came over here there, to build up that kind of understanding while you paint. Because there's a few number kind of layer that we actually can use later on, or maybe tone that we can use and change the size all the time, guys. Always change the size of the brushes, my brushes there. So this area is a bit kind of light. Same goes to this part there, right? A bit there. So I do what we call that when I actually write into this, because when I actually try to introduce this kind of methods to the student, right, I did also apply for my kind of work there, in my real work there, okay, because it's quite fast for me to get the result. And sometimes people, like the clients, right, when they see the works is quite almost shine or realistic there, okay, they don't actually comment a lot, okay, they don't actually fussy a lot there already. They kind of like, oh, nice there. Even though I'm not actually add some of the details there on my works there because of times that we have. You can see the difference there when we add some light there, okay? They kind of give a bit kind of enhancement on the visual itself, on the visual itself there. So what you can do next for the shadows there, of course, this part basically, right? Okay? You want to add kind of quality of your presentation and your works, right? You want to make, we call that, sorry there, right? Okay? Not shadows. I'm going to be using light there for this part. I'm going to combine them together. I'm going to color the eyes there first. Not white colors there at the moment because there has a blood kind of when you see your eyes on your mirror in your mirrors, okay, it's not purely white, okay. Maybe babies there, okay, but not purely black and white there, okay. There's a certain kind of blood kind of combination between the colors there, okay, that actually give basically the eyes their own kind of colors there. Your pupil there, okay, the right kind of colors there. It's not a purely white there, right? Maybe cartoon, yes, but this also entire like a cartoon, right? But the a bit kind of cartoon kind of portraits, but it's not a cartoon caricature portrait, not the purely like the 2D cartoon there, right? So what I can do from here, I can add a bit kind of white kind of colors there that mixed up with the shadows a bit there, right? And what I can do, I can actually increase a bit kind of flows, right? Change a bit kind of colors there. What type of color that you want to use? Okay, for me, my kind of type of colors there, a bit kind of brown of my eyes. See? Brown there. You can use green if you want to, any color if you want, okay, but make sure you have the shadows and depth of those colors there to make it contrast, because normally when people want to attract with your design or your characters, they will attract with your eyes first. That's why you love anime very much there, or manga there, okay, because they emphasize on their eyes there first. Okay, so I'm going to add a bit kind of shadows over here, a depth of field of those colors for those iris there, right? A bit more darker a bit, okay, but not too dark there. I'm not color the whole thing there, okay. I'm not the color the entire of this pupil there. See, I just leave a bit kind of gradient kind of what we call that gradient kind of looks there, blending, right? And then I'm going to add a bit kind of highlight there. See, to give a bit kind of this visuals a bit more alive there. I know there's a lot of way to paint the eyes directly, But if you take a look right now, it shows basically some of the details. It's a very simple kind of technique there. Add some of the details there, guys. What I can do next later on, I can actually color basically those glasses there, all right? Using transparent brushes there, right, to work with it. So now I'm going to add back again the tone, 5% from the shadows, yeah. But this time I'm not going to using only the base colors there. I'm going to change a bit more orange there maybe. Then test back again. Whether this works or not. Because there's a two different kind of tone shadows there we can apply from here. If you ask me about the courses or the lessons that we have there, right, I would say to learn illustrations, I would love to have the entire courses about illustrations only, specifically, right? Diploma in illustrations there, rather than just what we call that multimedia courses that actually have illustration in it, right? Because in illustration, basically, there's a lot of things that can be applied, right? Especially on concept design for games, which guys love to play there, right? They came from illustration courses there that we call concept art there, right? The concept art there. So illustrations, there's a lot of things that we have to master directly or learn directly in order to develop a very higher kind of quality of work, educations, and industrial kind of needs, industry kind of needs there. Because I actually one of the panel for the education industry kind of what we call that panels directly for develop the syllabus. So what I actually write have been experienced before. Illustrations is a core kind of like fine arts, for example, directly. You know about fine arts directly. Uh, Fine arts is one also one of the core kind of courses that will bring all the importance kind of discipline in art and design, directly. But nowadays, without working with fine arts directly, but they're going to go into deep directly on those understanding on the art itself directly. Because if you have a very good understanding in arts, in philosophies, in technicals and techniques, and also the theoretical of the art movements and the histories of it, there, right? You have a very strong fundamental kind of understanding that can bring you guys into any kind of discipline in art later on. You will open up your mind into more different ways there, okay? But nowadays, people kind of skip a little bit and they thought that fine art only to create some artists there. For example, you want to go into a gallery there, okay? You guys have been go to gallery before there, right? This is only a fine arts kind of movement that no there, okay? Fine arts thinking is analytical kind of thinking there that can bring you guys a very good understanding to persuade your kind of visuals kind of thinking, critical kind of thinking at the same times, and you can actually give you guys a bit more kind of advantage to develop basically a unique kind of works, not only for the gallery, but also for the commercial kind of use there. So don't underestimate fine arts basically there, right? Okay? Because my kind of guru there, okay, Mr. Professor Jai there, okay, Jalani Abu Hassan, basically, he actually teaching fine arts and he make a lot of living, his own living, other than teaching and selling paintings directly. Sell paintings there. His painting basically around 1,000 over there, right? His paintings there. And he start early there, okay. I start quite late there, okay, because I have a commercial kind of work there. I go into more commercials there. I kind of like lost track a little bit, okay, to go into fine arts there. And I would say that my kind of entire kind of what we call that journey directly when one is more into illustrations. Okay? My kind of journey is more into illustrations there, right? Okay? It's not paintings, it's not fine art kind of thing, but I have that kind of discipline that I can bring over to my illustrations kind of works that apply the same discipline there of thinking. But it's I'm not I can't actually go into deep because I really doesn't have time there, right? My times is I'm more into commercials and I make money right on the commercial kind of works, right? Commercial kind of works, which I think I've done. Right now, if I want to draw some lips directly, the color of my lip balm direct, I can use this soft a little bit kind of, right, to indicate those kind of lips color there. A bit there, right? I know I'm not at a smoking kind of guy that cannot smoke directly. Not even basically vape directly. I don't actually intoxicate myself there from there. And then okay, the feet itself there. I'm not paint any entire of my teeth in white colors there. I'm going to leave a little bit kind of different kind of color like yellow a little bit, okay, to look more natural here. To look a bit kind of natural there. If you check it right now, okay, the gum, my gum there, okay, not bubble gum, right? Kind of purplish, dark purple kind of is okay, just to give it kind of difference there. And then, like I said, I'm using a bit kind of yellow kind of colors there, just to give a bit kind of natural kind of looks there for my clip. And the other thing is the highlight there, guys. Okay, for my lips. See that? Right? We kind of give a bit kind of tone for the brushes there, okay? There's other things there. There's a lot of things we can do from here that I can do from here, okay? Like the 126 there. So what I can do from here, I can paint basically this part using the brush strokes. Because of the glasses, basically a bit kind of hard line there, right? Okay? I'm going to use basically, right. How about I'm using white colors for the glasses there, right? Bit more like nasty there, kind of looks. This is where creativities will come along. Not creativities is not like you draw dragons, you draw sci-fi kind of things there, okay? Robots, they become creativities there. How you execute your works and to enhance a bit more kind of understanding from your works over here will give you the whole level of creativities. There. White colors there first, right? I can actually adjust a bit on the flows to make it a bit more like sharp directly on the tone itself. Okay. And then the next thing is, let's just say I'm do some selections over here. Sorry, there, right? Control D. I want to paint this part there, right? But I'm going to use different layers. Why? Because I don't want to mess around. Because this part can be add a little bit kind of details. You guys still with me there, right? You guys still with me?
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. Now, Even though I can use the same layers there on the shadows there, right? What I can do, I can just add another layer for the glasses there, right? So if I make mistakes, for example, I can actually change. What I can do, I can use soft brushes, I can use the hard round brushes if I want to, right? But if I use hard round brushes there, I can reduce the opacity. And what color did I want to use? Okay, go back into purple there, right? I'm going to paint. Yeah, right. So what I can do right here, reduce more the opacities. If I'm create, okay, like this one there, right? Okay, glasses there. I can reduce the opacities there and paint a bit more. Brush, adjust the right, some shadows there, see? Whatever that you guys were doing there, okay, let's say sometimes, what happens to these colors there, right? I add those colors there, I add those eyes, okay, quite hard, and suddenly I just transfer it again. Come on, guys, be realistic there, right? Okay, you can use multiply if you want to later on, okay? You add more shadows over there. The point is right now you want to show some of the level details, and then you can add another layers there for light for the glasses. All right, use transparency, give more shine there, right? See? Yeah, transparent there, right? Come on, shine there. I could shine a little bit there on the glasses. Simple there, right? That's how it works. Other than that, I think I already show you guys how it works in using basically the same techniques like beard, for example, dragging. I can use a very simple kind of version there to work with it. If I actually lazy enough, I'm using lasso tools, selection tools. I'm going to tackle basically the shadows part only there here. See? The shadow part directly. Forget about whether my beard is actually have a lot of gray kind of hair directly. We create a cartoon version of this direct. Later on, you can actually add, oh, sorry, directly. I'm going to add some shadows line over here, shadows for the hair. Because whatever we working right now, we're tackling the shadows only there first. But I try to add a bit kind of details for the shadows areas. Some of the areas I'm going to leave some negative space. So what I can do next, this one there, right? A few kind of areas that we can add some of the highlight for the or base colors there. What I can do, copy and paste this part, see, then multiply and reduce opacity. You get the shadows there, easy there. So what you can do from here, go through back again, brush strokes. You can use also, go back into the old ultimate pencil art. Okay, select the colors back again, adjust the colors there, then I can actually write. Continue with my journey to get some sort of, right, right light over here. Okay, right, add new layers. Then I'm going to draw some of the line there, right? Okay, that define basically the details there, right? Not too much. Happens there. first. This is the thing I hate about the new kind of tools, that the new kind of features that in Photoshop, right? It kind of sometimes it kind of over there, okay? Because I used to use a lot of what we call that shortcut key there, okay? My quick kind of hands basically, right? Kind of not used to the new kind of tools there. What I can do right now, I can add another line over here, just indicate my kind of what we call that. This is not light, but it's basically the gray tone of my hair, right? Okay, a bit there, right? Okay, not too much details there. I'm not actually emphasize on the details there, right? If you have time, you can actually work on that, right? Okay, to emphasize on the detail in the hair. There's a lot of things we can do also a lot from here from time to time. Okay, for example, like I can actually use also mixed up with the, let's just say I'm do some selections over here. If the false there first, right? Do some selections over here, there, okay. And with these selections, I kind of select the shadows areas there. For example, like this one, I'm kind of create some of the shadows line. This one is a little bit kind of advanced there, but it doesn't mean that you can actually use them to work. Some of the parts over here, it's quite tricky there to do some selections there, right? Okay, sorry, the guys. So what I can do, I can actually do some selections over here, for example, there, right? Let's just say this part there, right? Okay, I'm going to do some selections. This part right, I'm going to do some selections there. Some of the areas over here, I want to make a little bit more kind of what the volume of those shadows that been portrayed from this visual a bit more enhanced there, right? This part also the same thing. So to show a bit kind of detailing directly on the shadows there. Same goes to this part there, right? No, I didn't actually paint basically some of the areas for, right, the bikini there, right, okay, that I actually wearing there. So what I can do right now to show you guys how to enhance a bit kind of shadows here, right, using this kind of methods there, right, first. And kind of copy this one, paste shadows there. So I can actually bring into the shadows on top of it. I can actually multiply them. See? There's a bit kind of comic kind of style there, right, that I give the examples there. I can reduce the opacities. Then I can also use filters, blur effects. Sorry, there, right. It works. Blur effect there, right. Where is it? Nothing happens over here. Save the file there first. Gaussian blur, sorry there. Gaussian blur effects there, right. See? This is without effects. This is with effects. You see? A little bit more softer there, right? Without the blur effect just now, it's a little bit pale, but a bit more enhanced over here. Enhance. The lights, right? You can add a bit more highlights over there. Soft line, soft brushes. Adjust a bit. And I kind of like give a bit kind of highlights over here a bit there. Don't be afraid to add. So those details. Yeah. See guys, where we can go from here. I can actually add more details from there if you want to. A bit more and more there, right? Yeah. Okay. That's basically how actually you're going to work with it. There's a lot of way to add some detail on the hair strokes there, okay, but I don't want to go through with it because I believe that a lot of people have a lot of issues, especially want to add some sort of skin tone there, okay, and shadows from here, right? Hairline and strokes is depending how detailed you want to curve the line, right, and apply basically the brush kind of strokes there. Even though we have the in Photoshop, there has a certain kind of brush kind of line basically can be developed as a part of the tool for the to develop the hair line and strokes directly. You guys can experiment them directly to work with it. On the tip a bit face directly, and then I can paint basically those bikini directly, those kind of guys there. Okay. So go through with it back again, see the difference there. Okay, what I can actually apply directly. I did also share with you guys before if I want to use a bit kind of orange for the brush with the strokes over here. The light there, right? I can use that, right? See, there's a light on the orange colors over there, right? I can apply that. See, mm, no worries there. Just apply that to give different kind of mix there. Not magic there, guys. Basically, how well you train yourself to adapt that kind of methods there to give a variety of your presentations. See? And of course, from here, you can add, I can paint this dress, okay, this kind of what we call that. This part over here, and this part too there, right? Lazy enough, copy paste, put it over there, all right? Change the colors there. See? Change the colors there, right? Simple there, right? Change the colors, bring back the colors back again, right? And adjust the shadows there. See? Shadows there. Hmm. So what I can do right now, I can add a shadows line over here. There. What I can do here, copy paste, multiply, adjust shadows there. And add another layers or paint, highlight there, right? Okay. They make more shine. There. And I close this one. What I can do, I can actually go to Google there, right? And get some of the photo, right? Okay? Beach photos there. All right. What kind of photos that quite quite good for us to use there as a part of my compositions, right? As a part of my compositions there, guys. This one, is it right? Is it nice? Okay, let me save the files there first over here. Make two. Nope. Make three, right? Oh, I kind of use, okay, Simon 2 here. Okay, save the files. Okay, check back again here. Right. Save the files there. This one is Shutterstock kind of pictures there. Cannot use there, right? So let's just say I'm using that. Let's see whether we can use them or not. So what I can do, right? This is my master folder, right? So basically, I'm not going to use them with the backgrounds here. So if I'm going to resave the files there, let's just say that I'm going to combine all these kind of drawings together there first. Because why? Because I'm going to paste into another background there, right? So I'm kind of like just say I'm okay with this kind of results. So what I can do, reduce the layers there first, right? So save the files there, open up my files there, okay? Let's just say this one, copy, hopefully okay. Oh, too small, filled. Ah, yes, they're right. Balance, they're right. What I can do, I can adjust a little bit here. What I can adjust right here, it's one of the methods that I actually use a lot. Let's say, how about this gradient there, right? Multiply, is it quick okay? Not okay there, right? Change to overlay, soft light. This one too hot there, right? If I'm going to use my burn colors, it's not right. Good. If I'm using this one, reduce a little bit. Yeah, reduce a bit there, right? And of course, I can use the same methods here, right? Select all, copy, done, right? Select this, basically, this illustration is there, right? And then I'm going to paste into, right? Take a look, right? Paste into there and multiply back again. See? Reduce opacity there, right? To blend it out. And what I can do right here, right? I forgot the shadows there, right, guys? So what I can do, I can drop the shadows and duplicate the layers over there. This is the one basically I can use for shadows there. Some selections, all right? Selections over here. Let's just create a shadows line. Nicely right. Okay. Okay, what I can do right here, I can skew them up if I want to. First of all, I can multiply it. The color of shadows has to be almost the same like this one there, right? See? Bit there, right? I can use some blur effects. Bit more. Not too much. I should have, this is the one there. It's okay for now. So what I can do, I can skew there, okay? Maybe distort a bit. Yeah, see? And transparent there. I kind doesn't like the colors there, it doesn't match there, right? Okay, but prefer, right. See guys, presentations. Even though okay, from this tone, I can actually adjust more. How? Let's just say I don't want to use the whole thing look more greenish like this, right? I can use eraser back again. Hopefully I can use soft brushes for erasers to adjust a little bit. Right? Oh, it's not this one there, okay? I like the colors there. I kind of adjust a little bit there. Some of the parts there, right? That I don't like. Too much kind of yellowish, kind of greenish. Of course, with your kind of naive kind of eyes there, okay, you might say, oh, nothing changed there. Take a look closely there, okay? There's a lot of difference there. Okay? If I can paint basically if I want to, okay? I use a separate kind of layers there, okay, to manipulate and do some sort of composition from here. But I kind of like, I just leave it there first. Because of the time that we have, we can actually write adjust a bit on the levels there maybe. A lot of things we can do from here. I can actually write, maybe I can actually apply some sort of like, I would remember that we have the lens flare. Right, lens flare already, but playing with it already a bit more because the color is a bit kind of thin over here, right? So what I can do, I can actually use lens flare, beat back again, adjust to give it kind of soft kind of colors there. See the difference there, right? So that's it. One of the way we can actually apply them in those kind of works there using the paint styles that I actually have introduced guys before, which is you can actually develop from time to time already. The most important thing is they're going to be look presentable. Even though the pictures is not quite high res, okay, those are basically one of the things that lagging from this kind of compositions here. But you get the ideas there, right? How it works. Is it? Any questions?
Sir, I
Yeah.
have one question. For example, for like I'll say Spider-Man, they have the head, something like mask.
Yeah.
Do we need to like draw? How to say like
If you
Okay,
if you,
example, we have
you
the props. Do we need to draw the props on the face there?
the patterns there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what I actually did with Spider-Man before, okay, using my kids' faces there, right? Spider-Man verse, right? I did not actually draw basically the because if you draw basically okay this kind of assignments, if you draw the master, okay, we won't be able to see your face. That's basically is not that kind of right basically for to achieve this kind of objective of caricature there because the thing is when you draw people with masks, people will basically don't recognize your face, right? But you can actually draw okay the web kind of patterns that I actually draw from the Spider-Man verse there, okay, right here. I kind of use very loose kind of line there. Same goes to one of the drawing that I did for Spider Gwen, okay? Spider Gwen. I don't know where basically the actual kind of files here. Hopefully we have here there, right? Not this one. The background I create basically differently. This is the outline. This one there, right? Spider Gwen, right? I kind of actually write using only the web line, the Becky patterns, just to indicate, suggest basically the patterns there. I'm not actually draw the whole thing right in details there. I'm not using the whole line to indicate the details there, right? The original kind of photos, if I might, can share with you, were here. This is the one there, right? Because she's wearing the jacket there, right? So what I did do there. So some of the line over here that indicate those kind of patterns, I just suggest them directly. I not actually write, draw the whole thing right in details there, just to indication there, suggestions that the line, but it still works there. It still works. So in illustrations, you have to play smart there, okay, to show some indication. It's not like you just trace the whole thing exactly like super realistic. You can do it as well if you want to, but depending how far you want to go from there. Just like you want to create some tattoo, for example, there, okay? Some tattoo, okay? You do some selections over here, add some layers. You can actually use multiply if you want to. Let's just I'm going to create some patterns, some tattoo patterns over here by brush. Right there. I can create some of the tattoo line, for example, over here. All right. Some of tattoos over there, like different what kind of patterns that you want there, okay, to work with it. Then you apply them back. How about, for example, like Aquaman have a crown, his head. So can we draw them? Crown on his head. Right? Aquaman has a crown, is it? It can be as long as you can actually write showing your faces there. Aquaman doesn't wear a crown already, but of course you can actually manipulate basically your faces, right? Okay, the trick is in the what we call the critical kind of part on the Aquaman, okay? The patterns of those, the textures of those, what we call that, the costumes that he wear, right? It's a bit kind of tedious and also details there that you have to focus from there. So at the moment, right, okay, for me, right, okay, if you can actually adapt it, all those kind of detail, go ahead. If you can't, try to, right, like these patterns basically, but you will spend a lot of time there, okay, to craft basically some of the patterns there. If you're not actually knowing how it works well, because for me, okay, for the patterns like for the patterns there, right, I would say I can actually write using, let's just say these are kind of patterns there. Okay? And then I'm going to paint, or I'm going to use alternate backspace, okay? Right? I can reduce the opacity there. Okay? Same goes to this part there, okay? You can actually write there. So I'm going to use lasso tools a lot, okay, to create some patterns there. But the pattern that I'm going to create according to the reference that we have lah. But right now I try to imagine a bit there, right? Okay. Patterns there. I want to draw a bit kind of patterns like this. I'm kind of using the muscles connections that we have from here to develop the kind of patterns that I want, right, for the tattoo there, right? Okay. Can be, guys. Mm. So first of all, be careful the the elements that you choose when you draw. A lot of people don't think before they draw there, okay? They don't just find, well, this kind is quite nice there. I want to draw there, okay? But you kind of doesn't have the right kind of solution when you analyze them. When I actually look at the reference that I have done there, okay, that I want to draw there, okay, I will take a look, right, what are the solutions that I can create from there. But the most important thing is you can emphasize on your face. Remember, right, okay, emphasize on your face there, okay. People want to see your face. If you hide your face, people cannot recognize you. There's no point you create those caricatures there, okay, because people cannot see your face. All right. So don't hide your face because we want to see the creative or the aesthetical kind of understanding when you exaggerate your face, when you draw them and when you paint them back. That's why I didn't hide my face there. This is me, is it? I don't know. What do you think? Anyone there to draw themselves like that? Huh? All right. It's a challenge there. One of the things that makes me feel a bit kind of confidence, like I have that kind of confidence to expose myself there because of caricatures there, right? Because I don't give a damn about what people say about me anymore there, okay? Because I know I can create myself become a model there, a model there, okay? Maybe I'm not actually kind of like right now you have the kind of duplicate kind of software there, right? That I also can become, for example, like I can become a Korean kind of guy there. Huh? See? Right. But this is basically a software there, right? Applications there, right? Applications that can make us to become a bit more. I can become a Justin Bieber, right? Now this is basically another kind of things that have right now, right? I just playing with it like a lot. I can become a Incredible Hulk there, right? Right. All right. We're talking about technologies there, right? Technologies here, right? I'm talking about that. I can become this guy. Who is it? You know this guy there, right? I think girls love this guy there, right? See? Right. See? I'm playing with this kind of, right? So this is a things that I love playing very much there, okay? See? So play with it there. I can become also Arnold Schwarzenegger there, right? Huh? So I don't have to work out anymore there. I get to become Terminators there. Right. Those other things is fun with it. Something like this one. Quite nice. Look like me there. See? Okay. But basically this is what I do basically in my free time. Alright. Have fun with it there. Okay? So guys, any questions? Okay, choose the best pictures that can give you more kind of way to understand about your work there, okay? Don't just choose something that you like, but you cannot actually handle them. You cannot actually solve that kind of solutions, that problem there, okay? When you actually want, when you actually choose those pictures, combine it together with your face, with your body there, with the body itself, okay? Try to analyze whether I can solve this problem or not. Try first. If you cannot, choose another one there, okay? There's a lot of picture that we can use there to work. You can actually put yourself into the robots that basically like any kind of robots kind of pictures that you wanted, like Gundam there, right? So check back again because Gundam basically most of a Gundam kind of reference. Okay, let's just say you use a gunpla like this one there, okay, to emphasize, but there's a lot of line and details there. But the shadows basically has a clear kind of ideas of shadows there, okay? They can have the light came over here, the shadow fall off to the right side there, okay? There's a few number kind of value of tone that you actually have to consider first. And the line work has to be right there. Has to be right there, right? Or you want to use an Ava kind of body there, right, okay? They use a very simplified kind of shadow tone, right? Kind of what we call that series there, right, okay? Yeah, right. See? So you have to be smart there, okay, to choose your kind of choices there, okay? Sometimes basically the positions is not that right, like you have to consider to work with it a little bit more. That's why I said, okay, choose the right one. Don't just simply choose because you like it there, right? Because you have to analyze and do some research a little bit more from here. Be smart there, right? Work smart there. Okay. Our main objective is you can apply the techniques in the right way, not just want to look cool there, right? For me, this is cool. A bit kind of ridiculous for some people there. What the heck there, right? I'm not trying to make myself look stupid there. I make myself look more notorious there, right? That's all with those pictures. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for having me today, and hopefully you dig out those kind of methods there, develop them back well. We have around 1.5 week there, right, to complete something like that. So I'm looking to your progress and the deadlines. Follow them back, and still got room to improve. All right, thank you very much. Have a nice day, and don't forget to eat here, right? All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome
Bye
there, guys.
bye.